So now it's time to summarize what we've noticed. So it looks like most of the time the inequality symbol stayed true and it was preserved, it stayed the same, except I noticed in this row that we had to reverse it. In this row we had to reverse the symbol to get a true statement, and in this row we had to get a true statement. Well, when looking at this information, it seems like when we are going through oops, and actually I did make an error. This should have been a -1 is greater than a -2/3, which actually, oh no, is a false statement. So I'm glad I'm noticing it now. And it was reversed, which actually draws my attention to something very special. And I'm looking at multiplying and dividing mainly. So adding and subtracting, there wasn't any change, right? We added and subtracted positive and negative numbers, nothing was different, nothing was false. But when we came to multiplying and dividing, there did become false statements. And more specifically, I see that when we divided by negative numbers or multiplied by negative numbers, things had to be flipped for them to be true statements. And that's part of the reason my eye was drawn to my error. So it says that when both sides in our lesson summary, so let's zoom in. When both sides of an inequality are added or subtracted by a number, the inequality symbol stays the same. So we notice that in our two tables above, and the inequality symbol is said to be preserved. That is the vocab word that means it stays the same. But when both sides of an inequality are multiplied or divided by a positive number, so that's going to be important to remember, the inequality symbol stayed the same again. And we said the inequality symbol was said to be preserved, right? So if it stayed the same, it was also preserved. But here is the key point, and this is the key takeaway from today's lesson. When both sides of an inequality are multiplied or divided by a negative number, so let me change the color, a negative number, and I want you to write this down in your notes. The inequality symbol switches from less than to greater than, or from greater than to the less than. So the inequality symbol is reversed. So multiplying or dividing by a negative number, comma, flip the inequality sign. That is our stamp, and that is what we are going to practice today in our problem set and our exit ticket. Here we go. Let's try some out on our own.